are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So, Cardi B sends her lapdog after an alleged blogger that is cool or has a relationship with off the cheat. And, unfortunately, it has been revealed that Botch and Bitter is allegedly going broke, okay? Ken Barbie, who is aka the science experiment and Cardi B's lapdog, said people really have no idea that when my sister comes on Spaces and just says a fraction of the things she's going through, it's because she's going through a lot. Ken Barbie continued and said she's fighting for her financial freedom in court. Everything she's worked for while still taking full responsibility for her 3 children no matter what. Anybody that's getting up here trying to spin narratives and stir the pot every day claiming they're privy to so much information is either a liar or an idiot. Notice no one from over here is saying a word. All this bullish and harassment you're doing, it's going to be documented for the courts. So if you care like you want to act like you do for attention, you might want to shut the F up, because you're not helping anyone at all. Like, enough is enough. Leave her the F alone. Damn. Now, allegedly, there's an alleged blogger that's working closely with Off the Cheat and has been harassing, allegedly, Cardi B, okay? And as we know, Cardi B is going to divorce. And in regards to her financial freedom, which Ken Barbie brought up, Off the Cheat is asking for spousal support. And allegedly, he wants half of everything. According to Cardi B's net worth, she is worth $101 million. And Off the Cheat is entitled to half, which would be $52 million, which she doesn't have in the bank. Let's just be honest. Net worth is how much somebody has made throughout their career, okay? That doesn't mean they have that in the bank. But if she has made $100 million, she probably has liquidated. I'm talking about liquidated, probably has at least $10 to $15 million. But that don't mean that she don't got assets and investments that Off the Cheat can take. So he is technically, legally able and entitled to $50 million from Cardi B if we're talking about what she has liquidated and her assets. So with that being said, I don't think Cardi B has much to give to Off the Cheat. I don't think she has $50 million to give him. Even with her assets, I think she probably can only give him maybe like 10. Okay, which is still a good amount. But that's why she was crying on Spaces like a few weeks ago, complaining that, you know, people were trying to take everything from her and people were jealous.
Praying for like your downfall, like praying, like just like the worst for you. And it's crazy because sometimes you could be the type of person that is like, you don't even have malicious thoughts for people, and they are here fucking wishing and finding every single type of way, waking up every single type of way to make your fucking life a living hell. And
now, moving on from that, unfortunately, Doja Cat is also getting dragged. Fans are saying that Doja Cat is racist. Oh my goodness. Are we shocked though? A fan said, only in America can a jealous black woman like Doja Cat make fun of a white woman like Sydney Sweeney and give her a hillbilly accent and it not be considered racist. So let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Do you feel like Doja Cat is racist? Is Doja Cat considered black? You know, it's so funny. Now people are saying Doja Cat's black. Last time I checked, she was biracial. She was white. She wasn't a black woman. But anytime something negative happened, they want her to be black. I noticed that when something positive happened, she biracial, she white. Okay, so is Doja Cat black or not? Let me know in the comments. Now, moving on to Naughty B, Botch and Delusional. She decided to go on a little rant on Spaces and talk about how she ran into Ra Ali. And this is what she had to say.
My thing is about to go through TSA and whatever. And I turn around and I literally see this woman. She's in a wheelchair and she looked like in distress or something. She looked in distress. So I looked at her. I couldn't even believe my eyes because I feel like I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. I couldn't even believe my eyes. And I can't believe I'm in France. And this is happening all there and then. So this woman is in a wheelchair and I look at her and I said, "You good?" And she said, "I don't feel well." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then I told my security, and let me tell you something about my security. I know that you guys see him in pictures. I know that you guys think, but me and my security been my security already for like 6 years, and like my security is a big crip. You know what I'm saying? So his opinion to me matters. Not even his opinion, but it's like I will never like to look pussy in front of my security because I feel like if I do some pussy shit, I know my security gonna be like, "Bitch, you're pussy." Because that's the type of relationship that we have. So I told my security, right? I'm like, "Yo, this chick is right behind me." Like and he's like, "Oh my God, like she's in a wheelchair." So I asked him, "What should I do?" Because at the end of the day, we are in France. And you know what? It would have been really easy for me to just snuff her in a wheelchair. But I'm like, "Yo, what should I do?" Because we're in France and I'm about to we in Cannes and I'm about to fly to Paris to shoot my album content. Everybody's waiting for me. But either way, so we are in France and we're gonna go to jail. So he was like, "You know what? Let's catch her upstairs in the lounge." Because the TSA that we went to is a TSA that you go through and then you go upstairs to a private lounge. And you know, like you in a private lounge, you could go to the bathroom, you could do whatever the fuck you practically want in the lounge. So I'm like, that's where I'm gonna catch her at. Like that's where I'm gonna pop it off. Is your security, no, your friend's security, and you attacked me. Y'all grabbed me. No, the security grabbed me and you attacked me. And if you thought I was gonna let that shit fly, you out of your fucking mind.
Okay, so that's what Cardi B had to say. She also said that she threw a speaker at Ra Ali, even though Ra Ali came on social media and debunked it and said that wasn't true.
You need to grow up, like be for real, grow up. So that's when I threw a JBL speaker on her head. And she said, "You feel better about yourself?" And then she's acting like now she's gonna fight. Like, but she wasn't being like aggressive. She was like, "Oh, okay, now." Because I guess she was sick. I don't know what's wrong with her. So then I guess my security is like, I like now he in between both of us because now the police is really coming. Like they're really rushing to the part of the airport. And she was saying, "You feel good now? Like you good? That's what you wanted?" And I kept saying, "Yeah, that's what I wanted. Of course I'm gonna get my lick back." And you know that I'm not lying because she practically saying it herself. I don't know why you said that I was throwing a shoe. And why you not saying that you got hit in the head with whatever? But you know what? Whatever. At the end of the day, you know I'm not lying because even herself said, "You thought I wasn't gonna get my leg back." I wouldn't have said that if it was just me arguing with her.
Now, Krusty B, please come to the front of the congregation and receive 300,000 lashings. You about 35 trying to fight over 10 to 7-year-old beef, okay? And how comes you throw everything but hands? You never throw hands. You throwing speakers, you throwing shoes, and honestly, I don't really feel like you hit Raleigh. Just because you throw something, that don't mean that you hit the person. You threw a shoe and you couldn't even get it to Nicki Minaj. Okay, but you ended up with a knot on your head. And you about to end up with a knot on your head again. This raggedy ass bitch from the Bronx has a terrible mentality. Okay, you got 3 children and you talking about, "Oh, my security, who is a Crip, I didn't want to look coochie in front of him. So, I decided that I'm going to get my lick back." You didn't even get your lick back. How you get your lick back, but you didn't throw hands? Are you fucking slow? I think you're slow. You are really one of the dumbest people on the face of the earth. And to be quite honest, I hate to say it, and I really don't want to go there, but you are a terrible mom. Like, what mother who's a millionaire is fighting overseas in France over beef from 2018? Like, that don't even make any sense. And you got so many yes men around you that they like, oh yeah, Cardi, go to jail. No wonder you always in a lawsuit for putting your hands on somebody, but you actually never really throw hands. You throw objects because you are in fact a pussy. Didn't Child Protective Services get called on your children last year? Something like that. Last time, like last year or something like that. They need to get called again. I don't think you should have custody of your children acting like this. And you can say, oh, well, they weren't with her. It doesn't matter. She's a terrible influence on her children. Sorry. You're a millionaire and you're going through TSA acting like a crackhead. Talking about, oh, I'm going to get my lick back. And throwing a JB speaker. Like, who does that? That's just ghetto. Okay, you ratchet ass, ghetto ass, dumb bitch from the Bronx. Okay, no wonder Off the Cheat was always cheating on you, because you really are the slowest hoe on earth. How did you get your lick back and Raw comes out unscathed? She didn't have, there's no video evidence, and she don't even have any bruises. You just slow. Now, Mariah the Scientist and CL0CKS, they dropped their collaboration, Is It a Crime, for Mariah the Scientist's new album coming out, Hearts Sold Separately. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of like the record. I kind of like the song. I'm actually pretty shocked. And thankfully, they did not sample Sade. Okay, because I was definitely finna give them some laptions if that was the case, but that did not happen. And I think the song is kind of fire in my opinion. So congratulations to CL0CKS and Mariah the Scientist. Now, SZA's alleged Paymo publication called Ness Swan describes Nicki Minaj as bitter, insecure, and anti-women over her latest beef with SZA. The publication said it's time to call Nicki Minaj what she is, bitter. Nicki is once again attacking another younger, prettier, and more successful woman, adding to her now tainted legacy of being anti-woman and solidifying the fact that it's time to call her what she truly is, bitter. We have finally reckoned with the fact that her contributions to the culture are outweighed by the damage she's done to it. Her legacy is no longer defined by her music, her record sales, or even her earlier cultural impact, but instead riddled with mean tweets fueled by insecurity, unnecessary trolling, and the bridges she's burned with women who once looked up to her. It's truly time to mute Nicki Minaj and any other hater who doesn't contribute to the culture, but instead bastardize and degrades. And lastly, Nicki Minaj isn't a misunderstood queen. She's a former and bitter one, and it's time we say it out loud. Now, I think SZA and TDE, Fruit Punch, TDE, and SZA probably paid that publication to write that. I think that's what happened. I don't think Nicki Minaj is bitter. Definitely not. But I do think that people do view Nicki Minaj as bitter because she has had several issues or beef with people in the industry. Okay? So if you beef publicly with 5 to 7 people, and even though you may be right, it's always going to look like you're the problem, So I don't particularly think that Nicki Minaj is bitter. But I see like a lot of people, the general public, view her that way because she has basically had issues with a lot of people publicly, So I see why people would think that. I just hope, in 2026... we can stay away from the beef sector when it comes to Nicki Minaj. In 2026, hopefully, is strictly about the music. Now, Metro Boomin put out a futuristic summer mixtape featuring a lot of Atlanta artists, except for 21 Below Average, because he's originally from the UK. and he just claims Atlanta, but he's not really from there. But the point of the matter is, I listened to the mixtape because I love Metro Boomin. I'll be honest with you, I give it like a 6 out of 10. I wasn't really impressed, but it's just a mixtape. I feel like he should have came harder. It sound a little outdated. Okay, didn't sound futuristic at all. It sounded very 2006. A lot of the songs sounded outdated, and I think it's because he had a lot of artists that were popular maybe in 2005, 2010, but they're not popular now, so that's probably why it sounded a little bit dated. But I would give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. I was a little bit disappointed. So my absolute favorite on the album is Slide. Okay, I think that features, I'm not too sure, but I think that features Roscoe Dash, okay, on the song. I like Partying and Drinking. That's another bop. Drip Barbecue was also pretty fire. I do like that song. They Wanna Have Fun was also another bop. But a lot of the songs sounded dated. I'm like, well, how is this futuristic? Okay, I'm very confused. I thought it was supposed to be a more modern sound featuring Atlanta artists, but it was an outdated sound featuring Atlanta artists. And I kind of am a little bit disappointed in Metro because he's one of my favorite producers out in the game. But I feel like, I'm not really interested in hearing anything from 2006 and 2010. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. Like, I don't want to hear old ass Waka Flocka and Roscoe Dash talking about booty cheeks clapping. No. Now, moving on from that, Shannon Not So Sharpe is facing another $20 million lawsuit after allegedly spreading false claims about a woman's viral moment with Usher. The lady named Jimalita, a global director for the Harold Washington Cultural Center, says she appeared on national media to correct the record, but alleges the defendants continue to spread rumors. She also claims the false narrative caused significant harm to her character and led her to emotional distress. So Shannon, Not So Sharpe, got another lawsuit on his hands. And honestly, I don't feel bad. I think it's karma. Okay? I think that he's getting what exactly he deserves. And next time, he needs to keep his legs and mouth closed, okay? You need to keep your legs and mouth closed because clearly both of those things get you in trouble, okay? And the thing about Shannon Sharpe, he's a little bit too old to be having these type of issues. I understand that, these old niggas, they could be a little bit weird. I mean, look at R. Kelly and Diddy. But I just feel like Shannon Sharpe, like, how did you go down this dark hole? I don't understand it. Like, you was in the NFL, you was on ESPN, and it just seemed like, I guess, money blew up your ego and you thought you can get away with a lot, huh? But anyway, 100,000 lashings for Shannon Not So Sharpe. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Pamela Anderson and Liam Nielsen on Patreon. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.